Good morning.
Goeiemôre.
How is everybody this morning? Hearty welcome all the way from Tauranga. The weather is actually not
Hot.
bad. It's hot and sweaty and
Yeah.
all things
I'm
nice.
struggling.
Yeah,
As you can see in my ears.
yeah. Menopause is not for taken lightly. I won't say anything about that again. No worries. Okay. This morning we haven't got a very specific topic, so if you've got any questions, ask your questions. We'll try and show most of them on the screen as we go along. Some of the questions won't disappear or appear here because they disappear somewhere. But yeah, we'll try our best to answer some of the questions that you guys got. So, what was your year like, the one that's passed? It's been a bit up and down as well. It's
Yes,
been
it
all
was.
over. It's been busy.
It's been busy. It's been a weird year. It's been an emotional one. It's been good as well. Yeah.
I want to say
Ups and downs.
it's mostly been good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a few bad patches and a few incidents and stuff, problems with friends and stuff like that. But yeah,
Overall, it was good.
overall it was good.
That's good.
It's how you get out of it at the end of the day. So,
Yeah.
but she has written down.
I've written down a
massive-
few things
Ooh,
that we can maybe discuss.
a few things.
Yes.
But that list is about 9 encyclopedias thick. Okay, let's start off.
The first question that I got was, what was the biggest mistakes you made before you immigrated? When you were in the process, what was mistakes that you made?
I thought I had enough money.
Yes.
I think that was my biggest mistake. And I doubt if anybody's ever gonna prove me wrong there. I thought I had enough money. I underestimated the cost of immigration. I underestimated the cost of immigration on me, on my family, and that is even more than money. It took a lot out of us before we were there. So I think everybody's health had a bit of a hiccup down the line.
Yeah, but that's not it's something that you can actually do something about. If you're thinking back,
Yeah,
what
it's
would
probably
you do?
something you could do about it. But I just think, okay, for me as well, hindsight. Yes, I would have loved to have more money, but at that stage I had what I had. To wait longer would have meant I would have missed opportunity.
Yeah.
So it's a question for, yes, you would love to have more, but if the opportunity is there now, grab it, go.
We had the discussion yesterday about some people that really, they have nothing, but they have the opportunity to come. So do you take the opportunity, although you don't have any money, or do you leave it?
Thinking back of it, I would still say take the opportunity.
Take the opportunity.
Struggle, come eat bread here.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that'll be. Yeah,
Yeah.
because the problem is always with anything that people, I can talk about experience here. I'm not going to my personal life there, but let's say I can talk about experience on this. If you wait for anything to happen, it's probably not going to happen. You get what I'm meaning. If you say I will immigrate as soon as I've got enough money,
yes.
I won't ever have enough
you
money.
won't.
If I've got to say yes, I'll immigrate as soon as I get a specific this or that, it's probably not going to happen.
And the thing is, you never know when the opportunity will come again. So if the opportunity is there, I would think take it. Take it. Yeah.
Richard Branson, Sir Richard Branson, always said, if you have an opportunity, grab it, even if you don't have the faintest idea what it's all about. Just go for that. Just say yes, I can
Just
do that.
jump in and
I
swim.
can do that.
Keep on swimming.
You sound like a banana.
Dory.
Was it? Okay, let's go on.
What is the biggest mistake you made after immigration?
I think after immigration, we were forced to buy vehicles in a bit of a haste.
Yes.
I think if I just took another week, I would have probably bought a different car.
Okay.
But at that specific stage, we had 7 days to do everything.
Yes.
I had to get a car for you, car for me, car for Zahn. We had to get cars as soon as possible.
I waited a few months before we bought
No,
mine.
you waited a bit longer, but the thing is, I had to get a vehicle to get us from there to here.
Yes.
And that was...
Yeah. And the thing is, your budget is not big.
No, your budget's not big. And I didn't want to do any debt.
Yes.
I had debt in South Africa, a car and a house on debt. And then I had an overdraft for my business. That's all the debt I had in South Africa. I didn't do clothing or Jack Edgar's or Pep or whatever. I don't know where you can get clothing. I don't do that.
Yeah.
I'd rather not buy it than going on to debt.
And the thing is, when we arrived in New Zealand, that was the time where you could still get vehicles between 3,000 and 7,000. That wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad, but that's not what we wanted. I wanted something that was a bit better than.
Yeah, I'm just talking about.
So what I think I should have actually done at that specific stage, I should have done whatever money I had and bought another $10,000, let's say, on debt to buy the car and buy something way better.
Yeah.
Because I had to upgrade that vehicle not long after I bought it. And then the second one wasn't any better.
But the thing is also, we didn't know how much money we are going to.
That's the thing. You don't know how much money you're going to have.
Yeah. So you didn't want to make.
Downplayed it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So. We didn't buy bad. We bought nice. They lasted us.
For the period that they had.
And they were in very good condition. So
only the Lexus that gave us a lot of crap. So.
The what?
The hybrid thing that cut out.
Yeah, but that was afterwards. Yeah. That you could have bought something different. Don't give immigration.
No, I'm not giving immigration the fault. I wanted the 3.3 liters on hybrid, which sounded a good idea, but
it wasn't.
It didn't work the way it should have.
Yeah. What would you say was your biggest surprise when you arrived in New Zealand?
Not a lot of people would have had the same surprise.
No.
Because once we've been here in 2016, we saw what the country was all about. We went back and only could come 2 years later. And 2 years later, New Zealand has changed as in crazy.
In what way?
Oh, I mean, cars, everything. The time I actually thought I would buy an oldish RAV4 because that was what was the in car in New Zealand. And I at the airport hired an old RAV4 and they got us brand spanking new RAV4.
I must say, 2 years, in 2016.
In 2 years, a lot have changed.
On the roads, all the older cars, there wasn't actually quite a lot of new cars. And when we came here in 2018, it was quite a different story.
It changed a lot.
Yeah, it was.
That's good morning to everybody. Say good morning. Anna, Lisa, Vanita saying good morning.
That one from Vanita is very good.
Us 25 years ago, we should have brought all our electronics. Exchange rate was 3-1.
Yeah, you never know, eh? You never know.
Brought gold and everything else.
Vanita also saying her biggest regret is not knowing her employment rights in New Zealand. At that time, social media and all the other online information wasn't available.
And the thing is, you knew you don't want to make waves. You want to just. This is a new country. This is the way probably they do it. You just go on.
And the thing is now, I think it's actually better not to have the social media because now everyone gives their 2 cents
Everybody's
on what
a lawyer
it is.
these days.
And you can't actually go on what anyone says unless it's an immigration advisor. Everyone has got their own opinion and no one actually knows what's going on. So you can't go on what people tell you on Facebook.
Yeah. But it's just saying, see, being forced to buy a car or even get a rental. We had a rental for 7 days, and it was rather expensive at that stage because I thought I was renting an old RAV4 just to drive the thing to see what it was because I was going to buy an old RAV4.
But I know that there are now companies. I'm thinking of
Trevor and those guys,
where you can rent a car for a longer period and maybe just
and
then
it's not that crazy expensive.
So maybe that's something to consider.
Oh yeah,
something to consider.
What other mistakes was there? I think my biggest mistake was to take you shopping in the beginning because she didn't want to buy anything. It was just too expensive and she didn't know what to buy. Although I had money, I said, this is the set up money. You've got to spend. No.
You're so scared that you may end up without any money and then I spend it on oil and spices.
No, but the point is at that stage, you needed the oil, you needed the spices,
you
needed everything because we had zero. We brought no food with, and our container was still on the high sea somewhere. Yeah.
What I can remember about when we came to New Zealand is the different kinds of food that the New Zealanders eat. So when we arrived, it was actually so good because it was not expensive. No. We ate so much udon noodles And it's still nice. And I mean, at that stage, you paid something like $2 for 2 packets of udon noodles.
Okay.
And we did stir fry with that. So we ate different, but it was nice. It made us gain a lot of weight. But
that's mostly a problem for a lot of South Africans.
It is.
Okay. People gain weight in New Zealand. Once they've arrived here, they're just growing fat.
You know what I think it is? Some people stress eat. So maybe it's the stress that makes you eat more. I eat less when I stress. Yep. So I wasn't stressed anymore. So I think that's what my body my metabolism just went, oops, I don't have to work anymore. Yeah. Oh. So I think that's maybe, I don't know. It can be. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
I've got this theory. I may be wrong, so don't quote me. I'm not a doctor. I do believe you live in this high stress environment in South Africa because everything is stressed in South Africa. Everything, everything is stressed. And now suddenly you come here, and it's not there. It's not somebody looking over your shoulder to steal your stuff or whatever. Yeah. You're not in that fight or flight mode. Yeah. And the only other thing that you're doing is now you chow.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's other stresses. You don't have money.
No,
you're struggling to find a job.
You're not 100% without stress.
No,
but
the stress is different.
The stress is just different.
At least you don't have to stress about being safe. Yeah.
For me, the biggest adaptation here was to drive the speed. I mean, the first day I had to go to see a client. I was on a 30 kilometers an hour zone, and everybody was doing 30 kilometers an hour, and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I had to pass all of them one after the other. I mean, I was probably on 50 Facebook pages that day just because and that is gone now. I was going to say that is gone now, but that was me in the beginning.
Yes, it is difficult to just
at
transition.
30, I couldn't understand why, and I couldn't understand people would even think about doing that.
I loved it because it gave me time to get used to driving in New Zealand. Luckily, we don't drive on the same side as South Africa. Otherwise, I probably still wouldn't have.
It would be probably 10 times more difficult. Benita just saying there's too much junk food in New Zealand and it's cheaper than good food. It's probably a fact as well. So,
yeah.
And we've become a lazy nation. It's easier to grab a pizza than make a meal or something like that.
And the thing is, it's so good. The pies is so good.
That's the problem.
So that is the problem.
This is not King Pie world, guys. Yeah. This is not King Pie world.
Oh, and what you get this, it's like a chicken Gordon Bleu thingy that you get like patties. You get them like 6 or 8 in a packet. And you put them in the air fryer or the oven. It is absolutely divine. And another thing that you get is the lasagna toppers. It's like a compact little lasagna.
I haven't had my breakfast this morning, so I think we should stop talking about
it's
food.
Really good, and it's not expensive, like Vanita says.
Yeah.
Another thing that Vanita is saying is talking about a house rental in a short space of time because you're kind of pressured to get something, and you still don't know the areas. It took me more than a year to get used to the different suburbs in Tauranga.
And to understand where
we are,
you want to stay.
Yes. So that makes absolute sense. I don't know if you can do it anymore, but at some stage when we arrived, you could rent a house on a monthly basis. You could say,
now that was the Airbnb way.
No. You could rent for a year or you could rent for 2 months or 3 months, but I don't think you can do that anymore.
I don't think so.
I think it's a year.
I have to say about the Airbnb, we negotiated with the owner, and we got the Airbnb, which included our Wi-Fi, it included our electricity, included our water, cheaper than our rental.
Yes,
that was not a bad steal, to be quite frank.
I must really say we had so many wonderful things falling in place when we arrived in New Zealand. Everything was just, I think the dear Lord knew Mariska's not going to make it if you don't make it easy on her. So that we stayed there for 4 weeks.
You think it was easy?
It was easier than it
we went to about 5 million different open homes.
I know, but still.
They got so full.
Imagine we had to do that in 2 weeks. Find something in 2 weeks.
We had to do it in 4 weeks.
But we had 4 weeks.
Yeah, we had 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I was lucky, so.
Yeah.
But it still costs money at the end of the day.
Yeah, it does. So it is difficult. And the thing is, it is quite stressful to find a house. The open homes, like everyone will tell you, there would be like 5 or 6 different couples coming to have a look at the open home, and you just one, and everyone that wants to apply applies, and then the owner decides if he wants to live in his house. So what I would suggest when you come from South Africa, because in New Zealand they can phone your previous rent, what do you call them? Landlord, and for a reference. But when you're new in New Zealand, you've got no references. So what I would suggest is, if you owned a home in South Africa, maybe just bring the papers with you to show that you owned a home, and maybe a few pictures of what the house looked like.
And what I did is I went to talk to the agent every time we arrived at an open home.
Yes.
For the first few weeks, I couldn't understand what they were saying to me because I struggled with the Kiwi English. So they were, I was just, yes, very nice. I'm from South Africa. That's Africa, yes.
Yeah, it was.
So
difficult.
it was difficult, but yeah.
And that made a difference. I think if they know your situation. And the thing is, what I always say, and I don't know how you should see some of the people that comes and look at houses. They look like I wouldn't even let them in my house if I was the landlord. I mean, maybe just dress nicely.
I always thought it's a good thing when the people arrive, there was a wrecked car and about 10 kids just get out.
Yeah, it's okay. Let them come.
Okay, I'll probably get this house rather than they could.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so it is very
stressful. Then they let you know, so you're not no good for the house.
You think, what the heck?
Yeah.
So yeah.
What more should I do?
Yeah. I've already asked this, but is there anything else that you would have done differently? Maybe when you just arrive?
I think it's a good idea to give you time to adapt to the country. That's always a good idea, but the problem once again is money. You need money to adapt.
You need money.
And normally you're here on a work visa, and the boss wants you to start work, and you can't take time off just to learn or know the country, get a bit orientated in your area, because that takes time just to know exactly where you are. Where's the sun coming up? It's totally different than where you were in South Africa. So
and I think one thing that the mistake that I see what Benito's saying, the mistake that I made when we immigrated is I thought in my head, I had a totally different picture about New Zealand. And I thought it was going to be easy to adapt.
I started to know how you got to that picture because you were here in 2016.
No, but that was before I was here.
Okay.
And the thing is also, when we were here, I wasn't in a good space. And we had 2 weeks. So we were from Auckland to Wellington. There wasn't time to kind of look what a town how it works and how things, So I had a different picture. And I thought it was going to be very much more laid back than it is. It is more laid back than it was in South Africa. But I think it probably depends on where you live in New Zealand.
My biggest mistake I made about Tauranga is once we arrived in the Mount, and we came from Rotorua side into the Mount. So you're basically straight into the Mount. And I thought the Mount area was the whole of Tauranga. As I heard the landlord they say about the Mount, I said, I don't know what they were talking about. Because, I mean, we brand new, we on holiday here. And I thought the Mount area was the whole of Tauranga. So eventually we left and drove another way around, which left. And I had the idea of Tauranga as the Mount.
Yes.
The Mount, and then that long bloody road to Papamoa. That was my idea. And the day in 2018 when we arrived via Terrico, I said to her, shit, where does all of this come from?
We came in from the others. We came from Auckland side, but not.
Yeah, but we came through Kaimais.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did because we stopped at that.
You know what I remember? We drove past those. What is on your left-hand side when you go past Salinity, when you go to Mount Manganui? There's silos, or I don't know if it's
but that was in 2016.
No. What I wanted to say is when we drove past that, I thought to myself, this is not what the river looked like when we were here. No. So then I was kind of confused and I thought, oh my goodness, what did we do? Because it looked so industrial. And I thought, I don't want to live here.
Because we came in over the Kaimais, we still stopped at that lookout point.
Okay, whatever.
And once we reached Arica, I thought, geez, where did this come from?
Yeah.
There's tons and tons of places before we even reached Papamoa at that stage. So.
Yeah, at that stage, Tariqa wasn't actually there.
No, there wasn't. There's
No.
quite a lot of it
Yeah.
was there. So, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, for me it was just a different, and I thought it was going to be easier to make friends because there are so many South Africans, and it actually isn't that easy to make friends.
There was quite a lot of nasty South Africans as well. So,
yeah, it was a little bit different than I expected.
Yeah. Anita just saying, I don't need to say I'm from South Africa. I just need to open my mouth. People will understand that. Yeah.
She's talking about you. She's not talking about herself.
She's talking about me.
Yeah. And I agree with what she says when she arrived. But she, I don't know how, Vanita, how long have you been in New Zealand now?
About 50 or 60 years.
There wasn't South African shops or anything, and now it is much easier because I think it makes it easier for you. You have to pay quite a lot of money to buy your South African stuff, but at least if you feel a little homesick or you feel you don't know what to buy, you can go to a South African shop and you can buy the stuff that you know.
Yeah.
So
the interesting fact that I got to know about a year ago. So if you wanted to go to Rotorua in the past, you had to take a ship to Tauranga because there was no physical road between the two. That's quite interesting. That and a place like this island had no physical roads connecting towns.
You know what? I think it is there is a lot of history, although New Zealand is a very young country. There's a lot of history. If I just take the road, the old Tauranga road, from Auckland, it's got quite a history about it, and the postcard that used to go to Rotorua via the gorge. And
if you wanted to go to Rotorua, there was a road, but there's no cars. So
So I think if you want to just get your head around it, maybe do some research about the country and where you live and what was there and how it worked, and you will feel much more at home if you know a little bit more about it.
Try to immerse yourself in the local, how can I say, the local population. It may not sound like 100% the correct word, but try to immerse yourself in this population. They've been here before you. Don't try and change them.
It's not going to happen anyway.
One of my biggest surprises was that everybody spoke English.
Yes.
And I couldn't understand anybody.
Yeah.
So that was a weird one.
And a thing that I only learned as I was adapting to the country, because I've said before, when we were new, like that first 3 or 4 months, I felt very much out of place. I felt like everyone could see on my face that I'm an immigrant. I didn't even, like Vanita said, had to open my mouth. I just felt like, and it's all me. I mean, I look at people and I don't know where they're from. But I felt like everyone could see I don't fit in and I don't know what I'm supposed to do and whatever. But as you adapt to what New Zealand is all about, you find out that so many people that live here are immigrants. You are probably
just one of a few.
You're one of a few. We went to a restaurant on Tuesday evening and we had like a pasta making, and it was the two of us, and there were 12 people at the table, but there were quite a few old people that I could gather they knew each other, but the rest didn't know each other. We sat next to people that were from England, the north of England, and
it's been here for 12 years.
And the thing is, everyone is just so we all go like, so I could hear that from England. But you talk about your journey and what it's like to live here and how happy everyone is, and everyone just makes friends around the table. So you don't have to feel isolated and feel like you don't belong, because you do belong, although it feels a little different.
Got 6 minutes and you've got about 900,000 different questions still there.
Would you say that New Zealand is still worth coming to if you are looking if you want to immigrate?
I know it's a difficult economic situation now, and I'm not talking that away. We're probably in the most difficult economic situation. We're in the worst one in the last 43 years, to be quite frank. This is the worst one in the last 43 years. But it's still not that bad.
Yeah.
it's still better than having to look up everything and don't even know if you are going to see tomorrow morning.
Yeah. And you know what my mindset is, and I know a lot of people would say, I was like this in South Africa also. I don't want to think too much about the politics that's going on. I didn't think about it in South Africa, although it had a huge impact on my daily life. I knew it wasn't safe and I was vigilant, but I didn't want to know everything that was going on because it would just make me stay at home all the time. And here I'm the same. There's a lot of things happening. Yes, the economy is not good and there are political stuff going on like in every other country. But I try not to worry too much about it. I try to focus on what is good for me in this country and how beautiful it is and how happy I am and the good things about New Zealand. So I really don't see the bad things. Yes, we all financially, it is hard at the moment.
Everybody's financially strapped up.
Yeah, it's not only New Zealand. And yes, New Zealand is one of the most expensive countries in the world. But I am so lucky that I can be here, that I would eat rice for the rest of my life if that is what it takes to just be here. You're
going to become Chinese.
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. Maybe you can just share a little bit of how you can get involved in the community and get involved in the outdoorsy stuff because New Zealand is all about outdoors.
The big thing is you just got to lift your ass off the couch. That's all.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to go and fall flat on your back after work and say you're tired, blah, blah, blah. I do that. She does that most, I can't say every day. But you need to get out a bit. It's free to go and walk on the beach. It's free to go and walk in the forest, and it's safe.
Summers in New Zealand, I mean, it gets light at 5 o'clock in the morning, and nowadays 9 o'clock it's still a little bit light.
Yep.
So
you can really go somewhere.
There's time to do stuff. And if there are so many community things going on, you can go online and see what's happening in Tauranga, what's happening in Auckland.
Physically go and walk through the market. You don't need to spend money.
You don't have to buy something.
I like to go and walk through the market. I normally don't buy anything.
It's just nice to see the people.
Feel the vibe of the people.
Yeah.
And there's some gypsy playing music.
Yes. And I must say, when we arrived in New Zealand, markets were a very big no-no for me because we were used to these brilliant markets in South Africa.
But things have changed a lot.
Yeah.
The markets have gone big.
The markets are big. We've got a little big market here on a Saturday morning in Tauranga. And
sometimes it's very big.
The whole of that Coronation Park is full. Things have definitely changed.
Yeah, when it does summer is beautiful when it doesn't rain, but we need rain as well. Brian just saying go camp in New Plymouth. It rains a lot. Brian, camp in New Plymouth. Yeah, mate, it's up to you. That's up to you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that is it.
Yeah, that's us in short. Carnival's one thing is I've never been feeling that I need to go back to South Africa. I think that's something that's inside of you. I was sometimes questioning why I came. And I had to take some time to reflect and say to myself, why? Why have you come to New Zealand? And once I bring back all the reasons that in 2016, 2015, 2014 helped me make this decision, then once again, I was so positive and I wanted to stay here. But I've never felt the need to go back to South Africa. And I've been back to South Africa twice now. And every time I go back, I promise you, on that airport, I say, I'm the luckiest guy in the world because I can leave this rubbish hole. Yeah. Really. And I'm not taking South Africa down, please.
No.
I'm not taking that. If you can't see what I see, it's good. Everybody for himself. But for me, I feel if I arrive at Jan Smith's, I just feel like I'm the luckiest guy in the world because I have the right to leave. So
Michelle is saying she loves the small population feel of New Zealand. I love it too.
Yeah.
It feels like you're in the platteland the whole time, although you live in a city.
And Michelle also saying, no, I felt storms. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I felt storm is a nice thing.
I love the storms, but
we had a bit of thunder the past few times in this year. Things have changed a bit. So.
It has, definitely. When we arrived, there was no thunder, never ever thunder. And the past few years, we've had quite a few thunders not storms, but you could hear the thunder. And I just love it.
Yeah. So this morning, if you feel you're glad to be in New Zealand and you feel blessed to be in New Zealand, I want to ask if you want to like our videos and just click subscribe there. We don't make money out of YouTube, to be quite frank. I've never even thought about making money, but it helps other people. So the more likes you've got, the more this algorithm of YouTube spreads.
Maybe this morning, just comment a little bit about what you are grateful for being in New Zealand. What in New Zealand makes you feel thankful and grateful?
Yeah, and New Zealand, I know it's expensive and I know all the other stuff. It's still a wonderful place to live in. It's still a wonderful, wonderful place to live in. I would have loved to be able to grow up in this country.
Yeah.
I'm being quite frank. Being so near the ocean and the beaches that's so accessible, I would have loved to grow up here. It would have made me a total different man than I am today.
But I like you the way you are.
You would have liked me more. All right, guys and girls, that's us.
Okay, have a good one.
Have a good day. See you all next week, same time, same place. Bye.